Are we living in the last days? This is absolutely the most important question that is on the earth today. People are looking around thinking, what is going on? I want to share with you today what I call a stake in the ground. It is a Bible prophecy that has been fulfilled, that can never be fulfilled again. And within that prophecy, I have 80 prophecies that have been fulfilled. I will not share all of them with you today. I'll only share a handful of these with you, but these are extremely important and powerful prophecies that have come to pass. They have been fulfilled. So, number one, please remember, if any of these prophecies are fulfilled, that puts us in a specific divinely appointed time of God. These prophecy fulfillments can never happen again. I believe 100% that we are the final generation. I pray you see the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us God. The first thing that Jesus declared is he said, Jesus said Israel would be left without one stone on another. Now, did that take place? Absolutely, yes, it did. According to history, we can look back and see that Israel was destroyed in 70 AD. So this is one of our most important starting points. We also know in 1917, the Balfour Declaration was declared. So what I want you to see here is when Israel was at one of its most powerful positions, the Messiah declared that Israel would be destroyed and there would not be one stone left upon another. Now, this actually took place in 70 AD. Israel was barren, beaten down, desert land, nothing there, when everybody was waiting for that prophecy to be fulfilled. Until Israel became a nation, Jesus, the Messiah, could not in no way return back to the earth. There would be no rapture. There would be no second coming. There would be no coming of the Lord until Israel became a nation. So we know the next step that I like to look at took place in 1917. It was called the Balfour Declaration. For the first time in history, anyone even mentioned that Israel would become a nation again. This is when it was declared for the first time that it come out of a person's mouth that Israel would become a nation again. That is called the Balfour Declaration that was declared in 1917. Now, I'm going to fast forward a little bit because I'm not going to make this teaching long today. 1,878 years after 70 AD, there was still no Israel. The entire world did not know if Israel could or would ever become a nation again. Barren desert land, no people living there. It looked like total death and destruction. Think about this, my friend. 1,878 years later, and no nation of Israel. No people of Israel, no Jews living there. The Jews just went through a period called the Holocaust, where 7 million Jews were destroyed by Adolf Hitler through the Holocaust. Many thought Hitler was the Antichrist and the Messiah was going to have to come and save the Jews. But during Hitler's reign, there was still no Israel. That's what everybody should have known then. Israel had to be a nation. Now, how do we know that? Because Jesus says in Matthew 24, he says that from the time the fig tree put forth her leaves again, the fig tree is Israel. So from the time Israel bears forth her leaves again, that generation shall not pass. We, my friend, are a part of that generation. No doubt. Don't let anybody tell you anything other. We are a part of that generation. So the Messiah couldn't have even come back then. Hitler fulfilled the Third Reich, and now we're in the Fourth Reich of the German reign. Look up the World Economic Forum and the Great Reset. I want to scan down here a little bit and share this very, very important point with you. We know in 1967, we also had the 7-Day War. So we're seeing all these things swirling around this date of 1948, and we know that that is when Israel became a nation. So I want to fast forward now to the Gospel of Matthew 24, where Jesus gives one of the greatest laid out detailed prophecies in the entire Bible regarding the end times and the last days and the return of the Messiah to the earth. Remember, it is extremely important to remember that at this time, Israel had not been destroyed when the Messiah made the declaration that they would be destroyed. That happened in 70 AD. So Jesus was saying his land in Israel would be annihilated. There would be no Jews that would live there. And as a matter of fact, no one could live there for 1,878 years. But Jesus, the Messiah, declared that Israel would be destroyed. And after 1,878 years, they would become a strong nation once again. And this is the generation that you and I are living in. So the Jews would then occupy Israel until the coming of the Messiah. Jesus specifically stated in Matthew 24 that the generation that sees all these things take place would not pass away until all these things written in Matthew 24 were fulfilled. So you must be looking at a specified period on God's timeline that Jesus was saying all these things must happen. And I have been waiting for this window of time for 25 years, watching what would happen around 2017. I call it the beginning of sorrows. Now, if you take 1948 and you look up and you study what a generation is in your Bible, you would go to Psalms 90, verse 10. It says that a generation is 70 years plus 10. So if we take 1948 from when Israel became a nation and you add 70 years to that, it brings you to 2017, 2018. We know today, looking back, because it is still in our memory bank, that all hell has broken loose on the earth since 2017. I am looking at this window of time from 2017, 2018 to 2028 for these signs of the last days. These are what the Messiah specifically warned us about. Please do not be deceived. Jesus said, many will come in my name, saying they are the Christ, and they shall deceive many. This is it for this segment today. I said I'm going to do a short series on BitChute, and this may be posted on several other sites. So I pray that you would support us. Please go in the description box below. I always place my personal email. I would love to add you to our database. Please go to the description box, look at the links that I hide there for you, and also send me your email. I would love to put you on my email database. Until next time, this is His True Seeker. I'm signing off. I love you guys. And listen, only the truth that you know will set you